is it? A little bit of contact there from Scott. He muscles his way past.
Contact.
Into the back of... Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.
Hello, race fans, and welcome back here for another fantastic week of V8's Supercars America's Action. And welcome as we're here live in Victoria, Australia at Phillip Island, and one of my favorite races of the year. It's already been an intense season as we count down the weeks, and we're here for another fantastic week at Phillip Island. It's week 9 of the V8's America's Series, and we're here presented by V8's Online. I'm JD Smith. With me tonight is Kane Kraft, and as always, we here at V8's Online present to you in glorious high definition. Our show tonight will be brought to you by the V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and our very own V8's Online Superstore. Kane, we got a lot of interesting things on the docket here this afternoon as we head to Phillip Island. This is a track that loves V8 Supercar action, and it never seems to amaze us every time we come here, buddy.
Now, Phillip Island is definitely one of my favorite tracks. This track is, I think I say that every week though. These V8 Supercars, they just do so good everywhere. It seems like every race is a great race, but Phillip Island is just, it's such a fast track. It's a lot like Watkins Glen, and the fact that it's just a fast track. The disaster can strike just about anywhere from just getting too much speed, and getting a wheel off can pull you the rest of the way off the track, and with the speed that you carry, it can just end in disaster. But this track's got a lot of everything. It's got some elevation changes, it's got some tight corners, it's got hairpin turns, everything you could want in a track. This one has it. It's just a great track, and I love the racing here.
Yeah, it's already been a very intense season. Before we move on to Phillip Island, I want to talk a little bit about what we saw last week at a very fun race to watch. It was at Sonoma, and we typically don't see Sonoma on the schedule a lot here in the V8's America Series, so it's always fun when we get to visit there. In fact, there's 2 weeks in a row we've been at unique tracks, so it's going to be nice to get back to familiar ground this week, back at Phillip Island, Kane. I know that, like you said, we say that a lot. The racing is good here, but it's so great to be back at a track that's on the real-world V8 Supercar schedule. This is the track of these race car drivers. They know this track backwards and forwards. They can drive this place blind. Now it's going to come down to racing instincts and true skill. Last week at Sonoma, we saw just a complete dominating performance by the Can-Am Motorsport driver, Chad Chastain. He really showed us why he deserves to be the points champion this year. He has really been out to get him, but the thing is he's still got a lot of work left to do. We got the point standings. We'll bring those up in a little while to show you guys, but with only 4 weeks remaining, it's really starting to get down to the nitty-gritty. You got to perform. The chances are running out. Some of these guys are already counting on using some of those drop weeks for some bad performances that we've had throughout the season so far, Kane. So they've got to perform from here on out, and they know that. And luckily, they're at a track they can feel very comfortable at here tonight. So when you come to a track like Phillip Island, you know you have to perform well, and I think that we're going to see these guys do that here. They're going to capitalize on this incredible opportunity that we have tonight.
Yeah, speaking about the point standings and the drop weeks and stuff like that, I've got a little deal brought up that shows each of the 8 weeks, and so it's kind of a cheesy little deal, but it's the best way to show all 8 weeks in a row and what points were scored on each weeks. And you can see that several of these drivers have had weeks where they didn't show up, and so they've got 0 points, but they're still in the points running because they've still got a high amount of points from the races they were here. But you've got like Mark Anderson, who's in the lead. He's just been very consistent throughout the whole time. And then you got Marlon McMullen, who has missed missed a race and then had a really low-scoring race there in race 1. And so he's down 2 races, and he only lacks just a few points there from being tied with Mark Anderson, who's been here each and every week. So when you figure in the drop weeks, 4 of those weeks will come off of Mark Anderson's points. And once those 4 come off, 2 of them's already off of Marlin's. So Marlin's probably going to end up being up there in that top space. But the same thing goes with Chad Chastain. When we're done, 4 of his will come off as well. And so we've still got a while before these things really start to, we've still got 4 weeks left. So with 4 drop weeks total being in this thing, it really will shake up the points when it's done.
I really am amazed that they allow 4 drop weeks, Kane. I mean, that is very forgiving for these drivers. We only have a 12-week season, so when you're talking about 1/4 of the entire season gets dropped, that's a really big advantage to help out with the drivers, and so they can really use that to their advantage. And when you talk about Marlon McMullen, yeah, he had a really rough start to the season. He had a poor showing at Mosport, and then did not show up at Brands Hatch back in week 2. And, that won't even count for him, as he has been showing up. Now, if he were to miss the last 4 races, obviously those 2 would count. But, I'm sure he'll be planning on being here for the remainder of the season. But that really goes to show you how much these drop weeks can help. That is good news for guys like Chad Chastain and Marlon McMullen. Bad news for our points leader Mark Anderson, as he would like no drop weeks, as it would help him the most. But that's just the way it is. And look at Nigel Baines up there in the 4th position. He's also another one. Once you kill a couple drop weeks, he has. If you look over there in week 5, remember Nigel had some connection issues and only got 47 points in week 5, as he ended up getting knocked out of a race that 5th week, and that was really tough business for him. Another driver that really could benefit from these drop weeks, Kane, is Tobias Zerny, who has had a spectacular season since week 5. He did not race weeks 1 through 4. Here you see him now showing up, and since week 5, he has literally put up some of the best numbers out of any driver on this chart.
Yeah, that's true. The drop weeks thing is very forgiving, and and that's good because it allows for some real life to kind of take in. You can miss a couple races because of real life issues and things like that, but it also takes away the reward for being very consistent, like Mark Anderson, who has showed up each and every week, and he's had very consistent results throughout. A lot of that consistency is not going to be taken into account once the drop weeks take effect.
You're right, Kane. I wish there was some kind of bonus points we could give to somebody that no matter what they perform, just for showing up every week. That's a big accomplishment, to show up all 12 weeks of the season. And I think that if you were able to do that, there should be some kind of bonus points put in, kind of like some leagues put a bonus points for most laps led, or something like that. I think it would be really good for the guys that do, because they are getting races that they came and raced uncounted for, and that's it's not fair in a sense, and but it is the way that the rules are written before the season starts, so they know that going in. So, but anyways, that is how the points are shaped up to this point. And as we move forward, going here to Phillip Island this evening, it's going to be exciting, Kane, because we've really got a tight little run here at the top charts. I mean, Mark Anderson is not far away from Marlon McMullen, the defending champ, wants to repeat. And then we have Chad Chastain, who lately, Kane, he has just been unstoppable. This Can-Am Motorsports driver has been up at the top, and I talked about it last week. When he qualifies well, you can forget it. He has every race that he has started on the pole, he has dominated. He has led the entire races each and every time that he has got the pole position. So we'll look for that the moment that we get into the race, and it's almost that time, my friend.
It is. It's getting really close. we got another minute or so until it allows us to jump in and watch. So while we're waiting for that 1 minute, let's take a look at last week's start to the race. There was some pretty catastrophic wreck at the beginning of last week, which really had a pretty big impact on the results.
Yeah, it really did, Kane. Tell us a little bit about what we saw last week, buddy.
Got a great start there. Yeah, at the start, Chad Chastain, of course, took off like a bullet, and then we had Tobias Zerny and Nigel Baines and Corey Preston and Marlon McMullen, all three got together. And as that happened, it took Nigel Baines and Corey Preston, who Corey and Nigel both have been having a great season. It took them off the track, and luckily they didn't end up with a whole lot of damage, but it was definitely a tough wreck for them.
Yeah, I hate to see that, especially at this, like you said, at this point in the season, those guys having fantastic seasons to this point. So, I hate to see that, but you guys just take a look on screen there and then check it out.
Corey ended up having a really bad race from that point forward. Nigel he didn't have much damage, so he was able to really put his head down and start cranking out the laps, and was able to catch up and make some gains, and finished about halfway up the field, if I remember right. And he was pretty happy with that, considering the rough start, but definitely a tough race for those guys.
Yeah, it really was. Another guy we haven't seen in a week or two is Bo Cattell. Looks like he'll be back with us tonight, so that's good to see. And just some other names. Nigel Baines will look to bounce back after that incident last week. And, he's up there in the points, Kane. And when you had in his drop weeks, he's another one that will be right there fighting for this lead. He's fourth in the points right now. But could easily slide up to a second or third spot easily, really fast. So this guy's Nigel Baines, I'm very proud of him this year, and I hate the reason that his points aren't even higher is something as cynical as an internet connection. That it's just very unfortunate, but it is part of racing. We have in real world situations engine failures and mechanical issues on a problem, a blown tire, or this, that, or the other. You never know what's going to happen. Even with the world's best equipment, things happen.
When you take his 4 drop weeks in, though, his points really are going to be up there, too. It's going to be a really, really close points race between he, Chad, and Marlon, and Tobias Zerny, if Tobias is able to make the rest of the races.
Well, like I was just saying, you can't help these kind of things, and you get to this point in the season, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you have to all you can do is prepare for the best and hope for the best. And, but you have to prepare for the worst, Kane, because look at the real world scenario this week over in Melbourne at Albert Park. In real world Formula One, 2 of the best racers in the world in the Formula One series had their cars coming out for the opener of the season, and they had loss of engine power. That is the same thing we can talk about here in sim racing with internet issues. Even the best of the best, which is what we have right here, having some issues with internet, and it's just very unfortunate, but we have to live up to it because it is part of racing. As we head to the track, guys, I have some news. Now, we talked about how the dominance of Chad Chastain when he has started on the pole. Guess what? The number 2 Can-Am Motorsports machine will be starting on the pole here at Phillip Island for these 40 laps around Phillip Island today. This is very, very huge for Chad, and I wonder if he can keep this streak alive. He knows the confidence that he has when he gets to the pole is unbelievable. He knows he has a fast car, but I tell you what, he's got 2 extremely fast guys right there. Starting on the outside pole beside him will be Bo Cattell, and Bo and his NZ Motorsports machine will be right there. And Bo always comes prepared, and I'm sure he'll be giving it his all today. Back in third and starting in the second row on the inside will be Nigel Baines in the SDC Motorsports Ford. He'll be ready as well. Sanchin Delilac will be starting fourth today in a brand new beautiful paint scheme for the Altitude Volvo. Then in the fifth position, Michael Fulcher will be starting fifth with the Kamikaze Race team. And then Sam Collins will be starting in the sixth position today. and he'll be doing a good job. It's good to see Sam up there. 6th, Jake Burton will be starting 7th, with points leader Mark Anderson back in the 8th position. Corey Preston returns this week in hopes of better results, as he does start in the 9th position. Qualifying 10th is going to be Michael Schreier of HPR Racing. He will be right there to round out our top 10. And the 11th slot will go to Dave Oliver. Dave will be starting in the 11th position as these guys start to grid now. Marty Carroll of STC Motorsports will be in the 12th position, with Zach Baker in 13th. Graham Bones Finland will be in 14th, with Timothy Hancock in 15th, and Brad Newman rounding out our 16-car field. The guys are gridded up. Kane, I'll turn it over to you to get this race started.
The guys are gridded up, and we're just waiting for the lights to come on here, and we'll get this race started up here in just a second.
That's right, buddy. Get them pumped up, get them fired up. It's time to go racing.
The Reds are starting, and these guys are fixing to get on here with Phillip Island. They're off, and Chad Chastain has got a great jump there. Bo Cattell and Nigel Baines falling in right behind.
That's right, Kane on a great start for the Can-Am Motorsports machine. He does have Bo Cattell right there with him. Also, 4th place in point standings of Nigel Baines. Here's Sanjin Delilac and Michael Fulcher there side by side, battling for position at the moment, trying to slide up in there. Beautiful job by Sanjin. He will tuck in behind 3rd place driver Nigel Baines.
Everybody's got a great clean off the start. Everybody's got a good start, so this is great.
Yeah,
so
this
far.
is great, but keep your eyes on the mid to pack field. We're too wide near some of the back of the field. Oh, we got trouble already. The KRT driver in big trouble for the LED Innovations machine. It looks like Dave Oliver, it will be. Also, that's going to be our point leader, Mark Anderson, involved. A big trouble for the Kamikaze race team, and I knew we spoke just a hair too early. I saw them side by side, Kane. If we can get a race recall replay, that was not pretty. Yep, that's what happens. We're coming around this sharp right-hander, and it's almost like a hairpin turn, and I'm telling you, it can be tough. And these guys were through the hardest part of the turn. I don't know what happened. It looks like they just got into one another, and it looks like the Kamikaze race team, Michael Fulcher, just got over a little bit too much, or vice versa. I can't tell. It's really hard to see. But when you get on a back quarter panel,
yeah, they just barely made contact, and when they did, it just they kind of locked together, and once that happened, it just pulled them off the track.
Great battle back up front with Bo Cattell and Chad Chastain. Really close battle. Now, we talked again about the dominance of Chad Chastain, but Bo Cattell moving to the outside, trying to make a move. He does get a little loose and will have to tuck back for a moment. But I love to see the aggression here of Bo Cattell early in the race here on lap 2 of 40.
Yeah, Chad Chastain's really got some pressure from Bo Cattell today. Chad is just not going to be able to run away with this one. Bo is putting some serious pressure on.
He'll just have to keep doing what he's doing. Also, Nigel Baines is not far behind either. He's still a little ways back, but not by a long shot. He's still hanging in there. But also, Sanjin Delilac and Michael Fulcher. Now, one KRT driver's had a little bit of a rough start. The point leader, Mark Anderson, but his teammate doing very well right now. Michael Fulcher looks very good. Right now, he's trying to catch up to Sanjin. He's in the 5th slot at the moment and has really nice pace.
Down the front stretch, Chad has pulled away from Bo Cattell by about a car length or so. That's not very much whenever you're considering that it's Bo Cattell that's on your bumper. But still a little bit of gains from Chad, but Bo's right there.
Yeah, we got to keep a close eye on this front battle for position. This is a really fun to watch because we have seen it so much here lately. of Chad running away with these leads, Kane. It's fun to see Bo hanging in there with him right now. And I tell you what, with this, one thing we really haven't brought up in this race is going to be, this is a pitch strategy race. We're going to have pitch strategy involved. And it looks like the fuel window today, looks like guys will be coming in as early as lap 15 maybe that early. I think we'll start seeing them come around 18 and between 18 and laps 18 and 20. I was talking with driver Tony Klusterman, who's in the second split, and he was telling me in the race yesterday the majority of the field was coming in between 18 and 20. So when they do, they'll be coming in, and you'll be seeing all the guys grabbing 4 tires. And I tell you what, Bo is really on the hunt right now, Kane. He was really, really close to trying to poke that nose out to get a move and maneuver his way around leader Chad Chastain, but he's just waiting. I like what he's doing. He's just staying close and just putting the pressure on Chad in hopes that Chad will make his own mistake.
Yeah, that's about the best thing that Bo can do right now, is just keep that pressure on and keep it on thick. And as he does that, that pressure will take its toll.
Yeah, the one time that Bo could tell tried to get out on the outside and tried to make a move, he got loose, got a little over aggressive, and it almost messed him up. It knocked him back a little bit, and I think he realized it's a little too early to do that. Let's get settled in, and I'll just keep the pressure on hot. And he's doing that right now. He's going to poke in on the outside, but it's going into the hairpin. That's not a good move for Bo. I'm assuming I don't know if he thought. I don't know what he was thinking there.
I think it's maybe strategy to get over in that outside mirror, into the driver's mirror, just to let Chad get a little better glimpse of his car and let him know that he's coming up beside. Get that spotter saying that you got a car up beside you. All those little things can really increase the pressure.
I guess so, but it helped Chad out so much there. As he went to the outside, Chad knew he had the advantage there going into the hairpin, and he knew that was going to gain him a little time. But here comes Bo back. A fantastic, aggressive move. Bo goes really hot down into the turns there, but keeps it nice and steady. A beautiful job driving on Bo. I'll tell you what, we should go on board with Bo Cattell right now with this great driving. And a race recall, you're on board HD specialist, man. It's awesome to go on board with Bo Cattell. And as we start a new lap here, it's just an awesome, awesome view. Look at this beautiful track. That's one of the things we haven't mentioned either, Kane. This is one of the most beautiful tracks that we go to. I love this place. It is just an awesome, awesome, awesome scenery. The panoramic views here are just breathtaking. And they really just take it all in. What a great place to run. But as we look on board with Bo Cattell, you can see the distance in between him and the leader right now. This is that big hairpin I talked about where Bo kind of went to the outside last time. See, this time he does a beautiful job going through, catching all of the inside curve, using it to his advantage. Really, really using all of this apex. Hits the apex perfect, using all the track he can to minimize the turn angle there. Beautiful driving by Bo at the moment. You see ahead right there, our leader getting off the road just a little bit, no problems though. This is one of the interesting parts. You can really get loose there, Kane. You can slide if you come in a little too hot. It looked like Bo might have slid a little bit there. This is a tough turn too. You're coming downhill, and it really doesn't do any justice looking from the cockpit. That's a really big dip right there.
That is probably the hardest turn of the track.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Like I said, it doesn't do it any justice really looking through the cockpit, does it, buddy?
No, it really don't.
Here's the final turn here, and you're flat out right here. This is my favorite part of the track, flying through the start-finish line, and always anticipating a huge finish here this afternoon and back into turn 1. That's on board here in a lap around Phillip Island. This is a great battle between 1 and 2, Kane.
Sanjan's really putting the pressure on Nigel back there for that third position.
Oh, is he ever? And here also is the Kamikaze Race Team and points leader, Michael Fulcher's there as well. Then behind him, don't forget Sam Collins and the Dayco Falcon. He's coming up as well.
Sanjan in a brand new paint scheme today. A beautiful new altitude paint scheme.
Oh, he could have the inside advantage, but he just couldn't quite get up fast enough. He does. He's got a beautiful turnout by Sanjan Delisle, but Nigel still has the inside. and Nigel will retain position. But now here comes on the inside of Sanjin. It's going to be Michael Fulcher trying to make a move. He just can't get enough speed as Sanjin's going just a little bit too hot, and he's not going to be able to get past him there. Beautiful driving by all three drivers right there.
Yeah, and Jake Burton right there in the mix too, just waiting for somebody to make a mistake, and he'll be right there ready to take position.
Oh man, look at this right here on the inside. It's going to be close to some contact, and I tell you what, Sanjin just saved a huge accident. He had to get on the brakes pretty hot. That's why the pass was easy right there for Nigel, but a beautiful job staying out of trouble. That could have been kind of nasty there.
Back up in the front, Chad Chastain's managed to pull away to just about a second ahead of Bo Cattell.
Boy, this three-way battle's heating up, Kane. Here on the inside now comes, and he just can't get a good run on him. Tell you, Nigel Baines doing some wonderful driving right now. As smooth as can be. Oh, a little off-track trouble for the Dayco Ford driver of Sammy Collins. A scary moment for him, but here he comes now. He recovers nicely. I tell you what, Jake Burton has really started to catch up. Also, here comes, excuse me there, Mr. Corey Preston and company is coming up as well.
Yeah, Corey Preston finds himself in the 8th position today, having a pretty good race so far.
Oh, buddy, side by side, Nigel Baines, and here they are, Sanjin Delilac side by side again, and Nigel's taking advantage of the inside. Here comes Kamikaze Race driver on the inside, cannot make the pass, and this is, I mean, I'm telling you, they are trying their hardest right now to pass Nigel Baines. This is awesome racing, Kane.
Yeah, with these 4 drivers, 5 almost into the mix here, these guys are racing so hard, it's really cost them some time, and it's really allowing Bo and Chad to pull away, but Bo and Chad are really fast today anyway, and I think they're going to be pulling away anyway, so I'm going to enjoy this battle back here while it's here.
Oh yeah, this is definitely where it's at right now, and Jake Burton right now trying to make a move on Sam Collins, and he almost had him for a minute, but a beautiful drive by Sam Collins there in the Dayco Ford to pull away from Jake. That was fantastic driving. Now
actually,
it's back
Jake
to
Burton in the Dayco.
Yeah, that's what I thought I said. I had it backwards, excuse me, fellas. But then look right here, you got Sanjin Delilac and Nigel Baines heating back up, and this is going to be good. I tell you, these two right here, they've given us some good action all season long, just between these two alone.
I'm just loving the new car of Sanjin Delilac. That's just a sweet looking car.
Yeah, that really is a sweet paint scheme, man. I really, really like that a lot. It it looks so much better than the other one. Not that the other one looks really bad or anything, but that one right there is really something special. And I wonder if, I wish Dale Niche was here, I wonder if they did that because of us talking about their paint.
I don't know, maybe they'll keep the old one and then we'll really be able to tell the two apart pretty good.
That's what I was wondering, because we talked last week and the week before about it, and I was just wondering if maybe that's why I changed it. Here we are on lap 8 of 40, almost a fourth of the way through the race, and I want to do a quick rundown real quick. In the lead is Chad Chastain, and Bo Cattell closely behind in second. A little ways back is Nigel Baines in third, battling Sanjin Delilac hard. Also Michael Fulcher back in fifth with Jake Burton sixth. Sam Collins in the 7th position with Corey Preston in 8th. Michael Schreier in the 9th position with 10th going to Marty Carroll. Timothy Hancock in the overclockers Ford Falcon in the 11th slot with Bones Filan in 12th. Zach Baker back in 13th at the moment with points leader Mark Anderson back in 14th. Brad Newman is in the 15th spot, and Dave Oliver, unfortunately, Kane, is 4 laps down. He is on the track, but very, very heavy damage to the Cosmo Lighting Ford Falcon right there. And he's still on track. I'm happy to see Dave on track and still trying to accumulate some points. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, Dave Oliver in that initial wreck there on lap 1 with that off track obviously got some pretty significant damage there and cost him some time.
Yeah, I'm just really happy to see him not give up. Sometimes when we see things like this, some guys will just say, my day is over. There's no point in me being out here.
Yeah, Dave Oliver's got another race left this weekend, so he can use the rest of this race for practice for his other race, as he'll also compete in the Australian splits on Monday.
As we say that, Dave decided to hop off the track for a moment, and he's back on now. Sorry, Kane. It looked like he was done for the day. He pulled off and then turned around like he was going to do a burnout, and now he's doing another. He's power sliding around these turns.
He knows he's on TV. He's showing off now.
That's what it is.
Whoa, look at that. Yeah, he's showing off. Somebody told him he's on the TV.
Yeah, he must have it on. Some of the drivers will have the broadcast on while they're racing.
That was a pretty slick. I'll give him his props on that. That's some pretty good driving.
Yeah, we'll give that to him. That's pretty cool. If you're not going to win it, look good while you're out there, and that's what he's doing right now. Give it up for Dave Oliver and the Cosmo Lighting Ford Falcon. That's going to make some cool video footage right there, Kane.
Yeah, it is, and to get that on the broadcast, too, that's pretty good.
Well, we'll go back and check on some of the guys up in the race now after we've been watching some of Dave Oliver's stunt show.
Yeah, Bo Catel's really working on catching Chad Chastain. He is down to about half a second now. He's really reeling him in.
Yeah, Kane, and one of the things Bo, I hope, really has worked on is the pits, because I tell you what, Chad Chastain this year has, for some reason, has been so fast in and out of the pits. He has always gained time. Not once have I seen Chad lose time in the pits.
I remember one at the very beginning where he lost 4 or 5 seconds in the pits, and I think that one's what really got him working on his pit stops, and so he's really done pretty good from that point forward.
Absolutely, buddy, because I'm telling you what, like here recently, it has just been, there'll be like a 2-second gap between first and second, and then after pit stops, somehow Chad will have like a 5 or 6 second lead, and you're just like, how did he do that? But here he is. I'm telling you what, guys, the Tag Pest Management Ford Falcon is right on the bumper again with a leader, Chad Chastain. This is what it's all about. Bo Cattell said, hey, I am here in the V8's America Series, and I didn't come here to play around.
Yeah, and he is not playing around for sure. He is putting some serious pressure on leader Chad Chastain, and Chad has got to be feeling that pressure.
You know what, though? It doesn't seem to bother him, Kane. Like, the more I watch it, I'm sure it is, but the more that I watch him, the more that I just think that it isn't, because he hasn't slipped up at all. He just keeps smooth, and it doesn't seem to bother him. I think Chad has really got his confidence boost tremendously from these. When he's on the pole, he just has this aurora of confidence about him. It's just an unbelievable amount of confidence. But it's awesome to see Bo hanging with him like this, because it makes you think that eventually Chad will slip up.
Yeah, and it just definitely makes for some great racing. It definitely makes for a great race to have Bo up there giving him somebody to race with. I'm sure Chad likes the competition. Just knowing Chad, I know he likes a great race, and so he's probably sweating bullets right now, but he's probably enjoying the heck out of it.
And then back in the third position, Nigel Baines is enjoying a slight little gap over driver Sanjin Delilac in fourth, while Michael Fulcher looks to maybe pass Sanjin here soon. They are very close in proximity to one another, and then following behind is Jake Burton in the Dayco Ford. He's coming up as well. We've seen this as a 5-car battle not too long ago, but now we got a nice little battle a little bit further back, Kane, and it's not for position, but it's Corey Preston in the HPR Ford, or it is for position, I apologize, and Michael Schreier. And Michael Schreier looked like he was about to put the moves on Corey there for a minute in his HPR.
Yeah, Mike is definitely working on the bumper of Corey Preston there, and I thought he was going to go to the inside there and try for the pass, but Corey definitely hanging on with all he's got there to keep hold of that 8th place.
Another great battle real quick here. Marty Carroll holding off Timothy Hancock. The battle for a top 10 spot. With Timothy tries to get into the top 10, but he's going to have to get a very good Marty Carroll to do so. Marty looks really good right now and doing all he can to lead up here. And I tell you what, these two, if they're smart, they'll work together in hopes that they can catch up to the battle in Corey Preston and Michael Schreier.
Yeah, Marty Carroll's really had a tough season this season. He's a great driver, Marty Carroll, but he's just been wrought with bad luck this season. So I really hope that that bad luck will take a hike and let Marty start getting some good races in.
Yeah, me too, buddy. He has had the worst of luck this season, and it's got to be gnawing at his confidence. And, you know, it's just going to take one of these races. I'm telling you, we're going to come in here for a race, and Marty, he'll get a start in 6th or 7th place or something like that. The next thing you know, he'll be in there and he'll sneak in a win here soon. And when it does, it'll really build his confidence level back up, because when Marty has his confidence, he's one of the most deadliest drivers out there, man. He really is. I mean, we've seen Nigel Baines. His teammate Nigel Baines has shocked me to the most. Nigel has improved so much this season. It is just amazing to watch him grow so much as a driver. His racecraft is unbelievable, and it's just awesome to see. Now here it is. This is fun. The last couple minutes while I've been talking about the SDC guys, I've been watching the battle for the lead, Kane, and it's really heating up. Bo Cattell's starting to get a little antsy, and I think that Chad's starting to sense this, and this has been some fun racing back and forth, as it's not just follow the leader. I've actually seen Bo try to poke in and poke out a little bit here in the past few turns.
I think Bo would like to get this done before the pit stops. That way we can come out of the pits and maybe be ahead and then not have anything to worry about. We'll have the fresh tires to work on extending this lead.
Yeah, and he knows he's got about 4 to 8 laps to do this. So we're on lap 14 right now, and he doesn't know when Chad will go in. And but Chad knows, you know, he's probably got his pit strategy all panned out. And like we talked about, the majority of the field went in on lap 18 in the race here yesterday. So look for things to be the same. We don't tend to see a lot of changes from race to race. We usually see the guys kind of keep the same format. And I think that Bo knows that, Kane, and he knows he's got about 4 or 5 laps here to work with, and he's doing a good job right now.
Yeah, definitely the main thing that he can do to increase his chance of victory is just keep that pressure on, and that's exactly what he's doing. You'll see him poke it in there every once in a while, and maybe not to try to get a pass for sure, but just to let Chad know, I am this close. And that will definitely make another bead of sweat run down Chad's forehead.
Oh yeah, all he's got to do is stay where he's at, keep the tag pest management machine right where it's at, and if he's lucky, Chad will make that mistake and he'll just be able to drive right by. So what he doesn't want to do is try to push too hard and force himself to make a mistake, Kane, and that's what can really hurt. So you have to be careful with that right there. You see it right there. Bo got a little loose right there, and it doesn't look like much, but it did cost him a little bit of time. So he'll have to fight to get that back.
I'm thinking Bo's probably having fun right now. I think, you know, I know whenever I'm racing that close to a car, it's a lot of fun for me to be in that close of a race with somebody, and so Bo is probably just enjoying the heck out of it, and he probably is enjoying just that close racing. So he's probably not working extra hard and pushing the car too hard. He's probably just, you know, taking it easy and just trying to keep it nice and close.
Well, while Bo's having fun, here comes Sanjin Delilac and Michael Fulcher as these two are trying to work their way around Nigel Baines. Nigel had a nice little lead, and these two have shut it down. They are right there with him now, and Nigel kind of was, I don't know if he was taking it easy, but Nigel just all of a sudden turned on the afterburners and is trying to get some space in between these guys again. They were right there. In fact, Sanjin Delilac was actually starting to go side by side with him, and then Nigel pulled away.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes is just the realization, oh, there is a car right there. I better get my butt on the move.
Man, Michael Fulcher has just stayed right. He has stayed right behind Sanjin this entire race, and Sanjin has been so focused on getting up to Nigel, he has not even worried about Michael. Michael's like, hey, I'm right here, and the second one of y'all, I'm telling you, it's going to be like what we see sometimes over on the oval side, Kane, when we see a double pass. One car will just follow the other
there
car.
on Chad in the lead. He is, oh man, he was just so close going through the little S's there, coming up the hill. He is just not leaving any room between he and Chad Chastain. And I got to give it to Chad. Chad has done a fantastic job with all this pressure. Sorry to interrupt you. It's just getting kind of tense there at the front of the field.
No, you're good, buddy. I was just saying, looks like I'm liking what Michael's doing, and I was saying we see it sometimes on the ovals. In fact, while that was going on, we already have Mr. Nigel Bates decided to head down pit road, so he is the first to take advantage of the pit stop here on lap 16. So the first the pit of the day goes to Nigel Baines, and he will drop out of the third position as he is in his pit box with getting fresh fuel and 4 tires on the STC Ford Falcon.
Yeah, back to what you were saying about Sanjin. He has really, this season especially, he has missed a couple races here, but this season he has really come a long way. He has not been the same driver he was last season. He has really showed up this season with a lot of speed, and he's really done a great job this season.
Yeah, he really truly has. And I was talking about Michael Fulcher there for a minute. He's been following Sanjin really nicely for quite some time, and I was saying if he was so close to Sanjin that if Sanjin were to make a pass on Nigel, we may see one of those double passes where Michael Fulcher follows him right on by, and we see that a lot happen on the oval side. We'll see it with teammates a lot of times where not one but 2 cars will pass as a driver may get stuck on the outside of a turn, and 2 drivers on the inside will take that advantage and both make a pass.
Cattell in the pit lane.
So here on lap 17, we see a couple more takers maybe start to head towards pit road. The ANZ Motorsport man right there, Bo Cattell, in his pit box, and he is in the second pit box. A really nice spot for him today, all as well as he goes into the box. And Kane will give us an update on that pit time as soon as he is out of his box. Also coming down pit road will be Timothy Hancock, the Overclockers Ford Falcon. He heads into his pit stall as the team starts to work on the Overclockers Ford. Bo makes his way out.
23.2 seconds for Bo. Nigel's was 22.7.
So not too bad there for Bo Cattell. He's hoping that it will be good enough. And a nice exit there. This is something we need to talk about, Kane, is the exit of pit road. Here's a thin little road, and you can really haul it down that little road, but you got to be careful because it has a sharp little right-hand turn at the end of it as it rejoins the track. And if you're not careful and you get a tire off at a high speed, you can go for a little ride through the grass. And,
yeah, on board with Timothy Hancock showing this little access road that gets onto the race here from the pit exit.
Yeah, that thing is very dangerous, man. If you're not careful, it can get you.
Yeah, it's a real small little road. It's easy to get off the road there.
Our leader, Chad Chastain, is now heading down pit road himself here on lap 18. And it's almost just it's like scheduled in the book. He is heading down pit road. This is a very important pit stop. We're going to want to see exactly how Chad does it. It's very important to the lead. You got to think Chad Chastain and Bo Cattell had a couple tenths in between them here, so that this pit stop, can be it can win or lose a position in a heartbeat. And as he's refueling here, they're going to have to get quite a lot of fuel. That's why you see him getting fresh tires. To finish this race, they're going to have to get quite a lot of fuel in there. And off he goes. Kane, what's it looking like on the pit stop from the pit time for Chad?
Oh, 23.7.
He comes out right beside Bo Cattell. Bo's on the inside right now and will make the pass for the moment. And how about that for Bo Cattell in the Tag Pest Management Ford Falcon? A beautiful job. And it doesn't even need the time to tell right there. That was close. I'm telling you
half
what.
a second different in the pits, and that's exactly what caused that, them to be side by side. And that half seconds in the pits. 23.7 for
awesome.
Chad Chastain and 23.2 for Bo Cattell, and just that little bit has gave Bo the advantage. Now we'll see what Bo can do with him being out in front.
That's it. We've seen what happens with Chad in the lead. Now let's see what happens with Bo. Now this would obviously be the lead once everybody pits. We do have a new leader at the moment. It is Sanjin Delilac, and he is in pit road, and also Michael Fulcher in pit road as well here on lap 19. Sam Collins is the official leader at the moment. So how about that for Sam getting the lead a lap here? Marty Carroll in 4th place at the moment. Marty heads down. Oh, big trouble for an HPR car, Kane. I think it's Corey Preston. Is 2 weeks in a row. It is Corey Preston in big trouble going into the pits. We're going to need to get a race recall replay. Oh, that's bad, Kane. That's real bad trouble right there for Corey Preston, and I do not like to see that. Corey's had a great year. He had a bad week last week, and he had a decent race going. He was in 8th place, and he got off. I'm telling you, these roads are really tough. Looked like he was trying to get down to get into, and he's coming in way too hot.
Yeah, and it's hard to find a camera that's got a good angle on him, but yeah, he just came in way too hot, got the tires off into the grass, and it just, man, tough deal for Corey Preston.
Kane, that might do it for Corey right there. That may be the end of his day.
Yeah, I think it is. He's smoking pretty good.
Sam Collins still out in the lead right now, and plenty of time in the lead, a 29-second lead. I think he is the only car that has not made it down pit road at the moment, and he is heading down right now. So as he is heading down pit road, that should put Bo Cattell back out in the lead here. And how about this? A beautiful, beautiful move by Bo going down the hill right there. He had a really strong pressure from Chad Chastain there in the Can-Am Motorsports Ford Falcon. This is the battle of the year right now, buddy. This is fun. These two going at it hard.
Yeah, Chad Chastain taking his turn to put the pressure on Bo Cattell and see how Bo Cattell handles the pressure. To the inside, Chad Chastain to the inside of Bo Cattell, going through turn one, and they make contact.
Bo Cattell, he's done. Spun out and in through the grass, and Chad Chastain gets by unscathed. He's slowed down. He's only traveling 55. He's going to let Bo back out in front.
And
what
that's
sportsmanship.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, it goes to what I was saying. These guys really were having fun out there in the front. They were having a good close race, and you know, he was trying to make a pass. It didn't work out. He made that little bit of contact, threw him off the race, and that's the sportsmanship saying, come on, get your spot back.
Well, that's huge because that allows SDC Motorsport driver Nigel Baines into the picture. And I tell you what, Nigel, fantastic job all day long. He's been running hot, and Nigel has a second wind here. Can he stay up here with these guys?
Yeah, Nigel gets a second shot here. You know, the cards have played themselves just right to get Nigel right back into the mix here, and if he can stay up with these guys. Of course, these guys just had a little bit of contact. They may have some damage, and I'm thinking Bo Cattell might have some damage on that right rear that might be causing this car to not handle quite properly.
And what sucks is they've already made the pit stops, Kane. That's what's
Yeah, it's definitely looking like Bo's tracking a little bit there, especially going through the turns. He's getting a lot of rear end slides, so hopefully he can keep it together. But
you know, sometimes those things can, if you can get a little, and this is what Bo's probably hoping, Kane, sometimes when it's a small nick like that and it just knocked the toe out or something like that, sometimes and more rarely than often, sometimes it'll work itself out with a couple laps, and I'm hoping that it'll do that for Bo, because right now Bo's starting to look a lot better really fast. He looks a lot better through this, but this is the fast part of the track here. Not quite as many sharp turns. Now we'll really tell right here what he does on exit here. Yeah, he's still having a little trouble, but so did Nige there. And I wonder if that has to do with the, these guys just recently stopped, and their tires should be warm up by now.
Yeah, he may not be having as much damage as it looks like. It could just be having so much pressure behind him that's causing him to just enter the corner just a little bit fast. Oh. And ooh, a pretty big slide there.
Here comes Erie. Oh, buddy, here comes Chad. Yeah, Chad Chastain, man, he just earned a lot of respect from me right there with him stopping there and letting Bo back out into the front.
Yeah, knowing Chad the way that I just assumed that he was going to do that, and whenever I see him do it, I kind of expected him to do it because Chad just is that nice. I mean, he just is. He likes a good race, and he likes things to be fair. And when that happened, I just knew that he could feel it in his gut, and so
yeah, he's kind of about it. He'd rather come in second than to win that way. So we still got an awesome race up front to watch, and that's what's awesome. Nigel Baines trying to hang with these guys, and he's still there with them.
Chad coming to the inside.
Chad on the inside, he has the advantage, and with Bo's tiny bit of damage, I think he will, and he does successfully make the pass, Kane. Right there it is, Chad Chastain back out in the lead. Boy, we're missing a little bit of the action a little bit further back. One of the things I wanted to talk about earlier was Sam Collins. Boy, he really moved up the field with his pit stop. He gained several spots, and he is staying there for the moment. He is ahead. Oh, what a move by Michael Fulcher a minute ago. Got around Sanjin Delilac there, and now Michael Fulcher moving his way up. He's in the 6th slot at the moment. It's Sanjin, who was running up in 4th and 5th earlier, back in 7th at the moment.
Yeah, Sam Collins had a really pretty quick pit stop, 22.7 on the pit stop. Sanjin Delilac 26.1 on pit stop, pit stop, kind of slow, and that's what gave Collins the advantage to get up there and gain those positions. He and Jake Burton. Sam Collins and Jake Burton both had good pit stops there.
Checking in on our points leader, Mark Anderson, in the number 3 Kamikaze Race Team Ford Falcon. He's currently back in the 12th position. He's trying to catch up to the number 14 HPR driver of Bones Fyland up there. And not far away, but that really, really hurt Mark's race earlier in the race when he fell back. And he's trying to scoot back up there. But this is, he really wants to get up there and at least try to crack up into this top 10, Kane. We only have 4 races left, 3 after this one, and he's in the points lead, but not by a whole bunch. And we really don't know how the story will change with the drop weeks. So Mark really wanting to get as much as he can out of this race today at Phillip Island. We're only on lap 24 of 40, so a little over halfway. Still a lot can happen.
Yeah, and we seen last week where a couple drivers got the same thing happened to them in the first lap of the race, and they were able to catch up and work their way up into 7th or 8th place. But the two tracks are totally different. This is a really bad track to have that look. Oh, and Mark Anderson's around, and he jumps up over the curb, lands it on his lid. That's a bad wreck there for Mark Anderson.
And the points leader's day might be over. Let's get a race recall replay, and we'll walk you through what just happened to our points leader, Mark Anderson. Race recall, your leader in onboard HD footage. And here is the race recall replay. It looks like he just swung it around a little too hot. The back end stepped out as soon as he got the tires on that green grass. The traction was lost, Kane. And the second that heavy back end swung around a little bit, he tried to save it. You can see him turning the wheel, but it just wasn't enough. These things are heavy, and they have a lot of horsepower. And once that baby gets around, there was no saving it. And into the wall, he flips on the lid and flips back on the wheels. And I think the day is over for Mark. We'll see. It's going to be tough to recover from that one. Corey Preston's day, to make it official, is over. He's in the garage area. And another tough day for Corey. We will hope that Corey can rebound next week. And tough break, though, for Corey Preston. Now, Dave Oliver, if you remember him doing his power slides earlier, Kane, he was, we thought his day might be over earlier, but he came back out and showed us those awesome moves around the track. And he's
doing it again.
Doing it.
He is just having fun today. I think he's just out here just practicing his drifting skills. Or he's got an alarm that goes off whenever he's on screen.
I'm telling you, man, he knows when he's on TV because he goes nuts. And we're going to have some fun with this. Awesome job there by Dave Oliver. And make it entertaining and have fun. That's what I like. He's having fun, man. Even though he's had a rough race, he is not letting it get to him. He's out there having a good time, and he's not endangering anybody's race. So do your thing, brother. Oh, look at Bo Cattell Kane back in the hunt here. He's trying to make a move on Chad again. He's right there with him. A minute ago,
that's
Chad
right where Chad got him.
A minute ago, Chad Chastain was about 5/10 ahead and had a nice size lead. Here Bo has closed down that gap quite a bit. He's only a car length behind, now half a car length. Now moving down on the inside, trying to make a pass here where the wreck happened, and he will not be able to make it. Chad really fast on the outside through turn 1. Here turns 2 and 3. Beautiful job by leader Chad Chastain in the Can-Am Motorsports Ford. Still a half a car length in between the two, and it looks like Chad will maintain.
Oh, Bo Cattell spins around.
Oh, man. That one was bad. He gets back going somehow, Kane, and stays in traffic. He's right in front of Sam Collins in 4th. Let's get a race recall replay. Oh.
Yeah, tough break for Bo Cattell as he was right there really putting the pressure on Chad, forced Chad over into the alternate line, and then that makes Bo have to go a little bit wide there, goes a little bit hot and just loses his grip. The rear end comes around and he loses all his momentum, has to get the car going again, and that takes him down back into 4th position.
Man, I tell you what, Kane, that's that tough part of the track where you're coming down the hill and I hate
that is a tough turn. That is my least favorite turn on this track.
Oh, that's right. We talked about it earlier, and there we see what happens. He just lost the thing, and I wonder.
It is just so hard to get the car slowed down enough to make that turn properly.
Well, not only that, buddy, I'm wondering, you mentioned earlier when he had the first incident, if it may had a little damage. He was having some trouble earlier with the back end acting up a little bit. When you knock the toe out, it can do that. I wonder if that had something to do with it, sliding out a little bit more than usual.
Shout out to Jake Burton in the Dayco Ford there in 3rd place. Great run today for Jake Burton.
Yeah, Jake looking fantastic out there on the track. We really haven't said enough about him today. He's out there in 3rd at the moment. He still has Bo Cattell behind him now, but that's looking good for him up there in 3rd. See if he can hold down the podium spot.
Yeah, with the absence of his teammate Marlon McMullen, who we normally would be seeing putting the challenge there to those guys. It's, you know, we're still seeing a Dayco, Powerbond Dayco driver there in the podium position.
Yep, we are. And back up, I was saying, about to say the person that really benefited from all that is going to be Nigel Baines. He's up there in 2nd now, and he's 2.5 seconds away from 1st place. He doesn't quite have the pace that Chad has today, but he definitely has a fast pace, and he's looked very good today. anything still can happen here on lap 28 of 40. We still have plenty of racing here to do at Phillip Island, so don't anybody go anywhere yet. I tell you what, Sanjin Delilac has just been right there with Michael Fulcher. I've been trying to keep a close eye on these two, Kane. They're still going at it.
Yes, they are. They've had a great race this entire time. Sanjin and Michael Fulcher have both been just right there, giving each other heck the entire race. They've been having just as good of a race as Bo and Chad have been having.
They really have. They've been back there really putting on a show. And just for those of you that were wondering, Mark Anderson officially is in the garage area. His day is officially over. So very, very unfortunate news for points leader Mark Anderson. That's not what he wanted to do here at Phillip Island this week. But he's had a wonderful year. He'll bounce back just fine, hopefully.
Overclocked Australia driver Timothy Hancock has found himself into the top 10 in the 10th place position.
So is Marty Carroll.
Yeah, chasing down Martin Carroll, and Marty up in the 9th place spot.
Yeah, those two were battling hard all race long earlier, and here they are. They instead of battling each other real hard, they rode together, and they have moved themselves up some. Zach Baker, a driver we haven't talked about very much at all in the Botanica Ford Falcon. He's back in 12th at the moment, and he's the last car on the lead lap. Brad Newman in the Red Bull Ford Falcon. He's back in the 13th spot, and haven't seen Brad Newman all year, so good to see a new driver here in the top split of the America Series.
Yeah, you know, for his first race in the series, he's doing a good job. His car's all in one piece, and he's keeping it together on a pretty tough track for your first race in the series.
He really is doing a really, really good job. Jake Burton, I'm proud, man. He's still holding it down for the moment. And
Dave Oliver's still doing his drifting.
Hey, how about Nigel Baines? I tell you what, something happened to Chad. Chad had over a 2.5 second lead. These guys are right there with him.
Yeah, something definitely happened to Chad. See if I can go back and happen to see what happened to Chad.
Yeah, let's see if we can see what happened there.
Oh yeah, he did. He had an off track there, and that allowed everybody to catch up. See if I go back just a little bit further and see exactly what happened. Yeah, just about the same spot Bo Cattell had his incident just before. That's where Chad had his off track, and that allowed Nigel to catch right up there to him.
Wow. Well, Nigel's had several opportunities, Kane. If he could just somehow find a little more speed somewhere around this track, you never know. Nigel could be hunting down his first win of the year.
Yeah, if he just keeps it consistent and just keeps it in that second spot, anything can happen. Like I said as we were coming into this track is just one of those tracks that the speeds are so high that you just get a couple tires off, they can pull you the rest of the way off, and at those speeds it can be devastating. So, devastational.
There it is, and with 10 laps to go, anything is possible here at Phillip Island here in the 9th week of this 2014 Season 1. Tell you what, with 10 to go, we'll do the rundown of how we are here. And we got Chad Chastain in the lead, Nigel Baines in second, Jake Burton back in the 3rd spot, 4th, Bo Cattell. Sam Collins running in the 5th position with Michael Fulcher in 6th. Closely battling still, Sanjin Delilac in 7th. Michael Schreier in the 8th spot with 9th going to Martin Carroll. In 10th, Timothy Hancock, Bones Filan back in 11th, Zach Baker in 12th, Brad Newman in 13th with Dave Oliver in 14th. And unfortunately, Dave Oliver is 5 laps down, but still having fun. Unfortunately, Mark Anderson is in 15th out of the race. Corey Preston is scored in the 16th position. He is in the garage area out of the race as well.
Nigel Bain coming up on the slow traffic now. Well, I guess the leaders, all the leaders are coming up on the slow traffic, looks like, with Dave Oliver and Brad Newman just up ahead.
Yeah, Kane, that could be a little bit of an advantage for Nige. You never know.
Oh, that was Martin Carroll. That wasn't Nigel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was hoping you. I didn't see him, but I was like, maybe they're there.
There you go, trusting me again.
Hey, I always will. I'll tell you what, though, Marty Carroll has done a really good job here. He's in 9th place. He's doing pretty good today. Michael Schreier, he's been holding it down in the 8th spot. Michael Fulcher and Sanjin still going at it, Kane. Let's watch these two for a minute as Sanjin looks to be really getting tired of following. He wants to lead. I know Sanjin, and he loves to be ahead. He doesn't like to be the one chasing down, and he wants to get out there in front of Michael Fulcher, buddy. He is really, really wanting to get in front.
Well, it's a nice showing for his altitude guys, so he wants to bring it home one position higher if he can. More than that if he can, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, he's rocking the new paint, man. He's got to do it here. Phillip Island, a great place to debut the new livery on the car. It looks great. It's been fast. Let's see if he can get around the Kamikaze Racing Team driver here. Oh, man, here comes the, tell you what, Bo Cattell making a pass around Jake Burton here for position, and Bo Cattell back into the 3rd spot, taking it away from the Dayco Ford driver. Now, Bo Cattell's found some race speed again, and I tell you what, Nigel Baines is not far away from Bo. This could be a really fun battle. I tell you what, Nigel isn't far from Chad either, Kane.
That's true. Nigel's right up there with Chad. He's been holding on to that gap this time. He's not been letting Chad get away from him.
Man, Nige
a little
getting
bit off track.
Big trouble. What is going on with Nige? Oh no, that is not what we wanted to see with Nigel Baines, Kane. I wonder if that is some kind of issue of connection. That does not look like a race, something that Nigel would do.
I think we struck Nigel with the commentator's curse. I thought Nigel was immune to the commentator curse. He's like the Iceman. Nothing ever gets to him, but that time something happened.
Yeah, Nigel Baines is going to be right in front of Michael Fulcher, so he'll be in the 5th position. Not all is lost for Nigel Baines, and it's only lap 33. Can Nigel catch back up to at least Jake Burton? He's not far from Sam Collins. He's got a little ways to go, but he can get back up there, Kane. Tell you what, though, that puts Bo Cattell back in 2nd here, and this has been an incredibly interesting race. A lot of position changes, and it's really been interesting. Chad has been, a heavy leader all day, but he hasn't drove off into the distance. If he has, he's slipped up and fallen back. So this is still anybody's race. Chad has looked great. Bo's looked awesome as well. But Jake Burton is back into the 3rd position. He's looked awesome all day. Sam Collins has looked great all day. And then you have awesome job by, of course, I don't want to forget Nigel Baines, but Michael Fulcher and Sanjin Delilac have been great all day.
All these cars really are pretty close here, just running in a pretty big chain, and that's really great for Phillip Island. For such a fast track for these guys to all be so close, that's a great job by these guys.
It's awesome racing. Some having good days, some having bad days. Mark Anderson, Corey Preston, those two are not feeling very hot about their performances today, and unfortunate for them. I tell you what, I hate to see that. Mark Andrew, or who is that? Somebody's in pit road, Kane. Let me find out who is in pit. It's Zach Baker in the pits, and he's got a beat-up car.
Well, I can go back and see if I can happen to find what happened to Zach, if it happened in the last 50 seconds or so. Nope, he's been in the pits for at least 50 seconds.
Yep, I'm trying to see here. Oh, yeah. He got off-road.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it there.
lap 32 there, and he kind of pulled a Nige there. It looked like everything was fine and just ran off the road and down. But that isn't where the damage came from, because he didn't hit anything. He just went off road.
Yeah, Nigel just went into that turn 3 there just a little too hot, and or I guess that'd be turn 2, and he just wasn't able to get the car turned good enough and got the fronts off. And
Zach Baker having to halt because traffic. He's just sitting there letting everybody by, and now he will finally rejoin traffic. That looked like a traffic stop in the middle of town.
yeah, Zach Baker did end up hitting head-on into the tire barrier when he first went off track, and then that was a little ways before the off-tracks that we've seen a little further down. The damage is what caused him to go off track later on. And yeah, so pretty significant damage to Zach Baker's car there.
Sam Collins and Jake Burton having a little show here now. These two really going at it. They're bumper to bumper at the moment. Kane, Jake Burton has the advantage at the moment out in front, and he is flying down this track. He's trying to catch up to Bo Cattell in second. He gets off for a second, and 2 tires on the grass, no problem for Jake Burton. He's had too good of a day to let something like that get him now. Here on lap 35 of 40, this race is going to be getting over before we know it, buddy. This thing is really starting to wind down.
Yeah, Sam Collins really putting the pressure on Jake Burton now, so Jake's getting some pressure himself, and Bo's starting to reel in Chad a little bit. It looks like he's under 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's got to do it in a hurry. He's got to find some late race speed real quick, because, like I said, with only about 4 laps left in this thing, he's going to have to hope that he can really find some speed, or Chad can do another one of those slip-ups. And, hey, it's already happened a couple times today. It could definitely happen again.
Nigel's found himself right in between Fulcher and Sam Collins.
Yeah, I was just fixing to say that. Michael Fulcher, Sanjin Delilah battling. That's exactly right. And here comes Sanjin. He's fixing to make his way around Nigel if he can. And Nigel, Sanjin, you get a coffee, buddy?
Hey, how you going, guys?
Oh, we're doing wonderful, buddy. First of all, before we even talk about racing, love the new paint on the car. It looks awesome, buddy. It really looks good on the track. It's awesome looking, man. And you ran good in it today. I thought you had a really great race today. You had a battle on your hands all race long, bud, and you ended up doing really well. Tell us a little bit about what was going on out there.
Oh, it was, yeah, Nigel did an awesome job there at the start. Couldn't get past him, and then, yeah, had Michael right on my back as well. And yeah, I was starting to, like, oh, he's going to make a move soon. So I started making a few mistakes here and there. But yeah, and then he managed to jump me there in the pit. So it was like, hoping I'd jump in. I thought I stopped before him. I'm like, the lollipop guy didn't want to lift. I started actually hitting the centre of my wheel, trying to beep the horn, wake him up. But yeah, Michael got the jump. So yeah, great drive by him, mate.
I'm telling you what, buddy, a great job tonight. A 6th place finish for you, and that's a very good finish here, especially with this group and this bunch. You know, the season's starting to wind down. Things starting to get a little tense, like everybody was saying earlier. You know, it's getting a little quieter out there. Everybody's really starting to focus on what's going on out there. We head to Road America next week. And I know that you have had some races at Road America. I don't know how much you like it, but I know that I've seen you race there. And so you got to be a little comfortable and have a little more confidence going in next week.
Yeah, I've done a few. Not too familiar with the circuit, but yeah, I don't mind. I just need to spend some more time, I guess. And yeah, try and get a good setup for it for next week.
Absolutely, buddy. That sounds great. We'll be looking for you to do well next week, buddy. And once again, love the new paint, man. It looks great. For the altitude Volvo, man, looks awesome.
Thanks heaps, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely, buddy. And that's Sanjin Delilah, everybody. He had a great night tonight. Really showed us awesome new paint there on the altitude Volvo, and it had a great run. Let's bring in here power sliding Dave Oliver, who put on a different kind of show for us tonight. Dave, what's up, buddy?
How are you guys going? Hopefully you enjoyed the show.
We did. We watched you power sliding all over the track, man. We got you all over the all over the broadcast. That was pretty awesome driving, man. I loved it. It looked like you're like, my race is over, but I'll just go back out here and have some fun, and I loved it, man. It was awesome. We'll make that into some pretty cool footage at a later date. But I know the race didn't go your way, man, and I really did think it was cool that you got back out there. A lot of guys would have packed things up and just sat in the garage and watched the rest of the race, and I loved how you went back out there and finished up. It actually will help out in the points. Believe it or not, they all each point counts a little bit more when you look at the end of the race, so congratulations on finishing the race, and we move on to Road America next week, and the way that you were driving to start the day, man, you'll be having a good result next week, bud.
Yeah, I hope so. I need to go and practice up Road America again and stuff. But yeah, the race didn't go that well. Had a bit of a contact with Mark, unfortunately. So I think if I had hit the brakes a little bit earlier, I would have missed the wall. But I ended up with, what was it, a minute 20 proper repairs and then about 5 minutes optional. So pretty much gone back out there to try gain some SR and just have a bit of fun. So I tried to drive clean, but after a while, I decided to have a bit of fun. And even then, I think I ended up with, after I came out, I ended up with doing 19 laps before I got my first 1X, and I was sideways after times. So I think I only got four incidents, and I still gained 0.28 or 0.3 SR. So I think that was still a bit fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you see how much tire you had left after you were done there on the rears?
No, I didn't, but I think my tyre temps were up about 140. But it was actually on one of them, I think before the pit stop, I've kind of, done quite a few laps of drifting. I'll try and actually go and, do a fast lap and turn 2 understeered straight off. Because I think the tyre temps on the rear were that high, just understeered straight off onto the grass.
It was fun to watch, though, and you definitely win the award for drifting around Phillip Island, buddy. That was pretty cool watching, man.
Yeah, so hopefully, you guys enjoyed it, and I made sure, didn't impact any other cars and all that kind of stuff. So definitely let them pass when necessary. So
yeah, we
tried
definitely
to make sure I wasn't
that.
drifting within about 3-4 seconds. So I know that Bones or Graham had a bit of a chuckle when he was coming up behind me. So
absolutely, Dave. Well, man, best of luck to you next week at Road America, bud. We'll be looking for you out there on the track, and you make sure you come by and have a word with us after the race next week, bud.
No problems. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely, Dave. That's Dave Oliver, ladies and gentlemen. A great job by Dave tonight, putting on a great show for us. Now it's time to get a good buddy of ours in here. It's time for Bones. Bones, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Kane. How you going, boys?
Doing good, buddy. A good job tonight there, Bones. You had a good, steady race tonight. Good result there. And I'm proud of you, man. At Phillip Island seemed to work out good for you. Just missed the top 10 by 1 position and finished on the lead lap. Great race.
Yeah, started out okay. We're sticking with the boys in front, and then just one little mistake and they got away, and that was the end of the draft. And it was sort of try and do a really good lap, and then I didn't gain anything, and it's I'm just gonna have to keep driving here. So she ended up being about a 4 stubby trip, and had the wife supply me with the stubbies halfway through. So she was a good drive after all.
That works, buddy. And like I was telling everybody else, we'll be at Road America next week, and I hope that that's going to be a good one for you. I hope it's not one that you despise.
Nah, they all despise me, but yeah, I just prod along and just keep it going. This old man just keeps driving around. But yeah, happy to be still in the top split here, so prodding around the back, but she's good fun. She's good driving. The guys are all good and courteous, and
That's awesome, buddy. It really is. It's so fun, and it's fun to watch you guys each week. But the HPR looked good today, buddy. The HPR Falcon was rocking. You seem to be doing a little bit better each and every week, and if you keep that up, Bones, we'll be rooting for you the whole way, bud.
yeah. I've been mucking around with the setup all week, and Sandy come up with one today, and we jumped on that, and it was just so much easier to get a consistent lap out of, and we only just did that in the last qualifying, and I got my best qualifying lap, and then it was pretty good throughout the race as well. So
Yeah, I noticed the
last minute
HPR on
setup.
Sanjin's new paint scheme. I didn't realize he was HPR.
We're HPR and altitude Volvo. We had just 2 cars in the altitude part and 2 cars in the HPR, so we're sort of one team, but just to separate them so you
Okay.
could recognise them. But he changed the colour so you could decipher between him and Nishi, but Nishi didn't make the race today. So
Okay, so Nishi did keep the other color, so that's cool.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
wondering about that. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for doing that. That was really helpful.
No worries. We sort of time to change it around a little bit, and
Man, it looks
individual.
awesome.
Yeah,
It looks really good. I told him, I said, that paint looks awesome. I really like it. It looks really good with the white on there. It looks awesome. So, yeah, man, we appreciate that. Anything that helps the old broadcasters out, it makes our job a little easier.
That's the go. Yeah.
Take care, Bones. Thanks for coming
All
and
right.
having a chat with
No
us,
worries.
bud.
Thanks again, guys. Yeah, I'm heading off to watch the V8s at Tassie now. So
Enjoy, man. Enjoy.
will do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go watch that one myself.
I wish I
Yeah.
could. I don't know where I'm going to be able to watch it. I'll find a way.
Have you got the V8s? What's it called? The $40 subscription. You get all the V8 Action
Yeah, I
Live.
need
We
to
can't
do
get
it.
it here in
Superview.
Oz, but you guys can get it.
Yeah, we can.
Superview, yeah, well worth it.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and get it because I need it.
Yeah, I've put it off, but there ain't no way I'm gonna be able to put it off any longer. I gotta get my V8 supercars fixed.
Yeah, and you can watch the replays and that in it too. So if it's not at the right time for you, so.
Yeah, last year I bought the package that just had the 3 enduros in it, and it was well worth it. I got to watch all the replays and stuff, and it was great.
I got the entire replay of the entire season for $9.99. I was happy.
Oh, hey,
But
you'd be sitting back watching that all day.
all day, buddy.
Yeah, he was watching it for a good week. Every time I talked to him, he was watching V8 supercars.
But it's just they're nearly as good as us, aren't they?
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
awesome. They're
They're
almost as good
they're-
as you guys.
They're almost there.
You got to watch Winton. That's my local track, and it's just the start of that. Just watch the start of that race. It's just brilliant every time.
Which one's that, Bonesy?
Winton Motor Raceway.
Winton. Okay.
Yeah,
Will
the
do, buddy.
first turn. There's 3 or 4 wide going around the first turn every time.
That's awesome, buddy. That is awesome. Well, you take care, Bones. We'll be looking
Hey.
for you next week, pal.
All right, no worries, guys. See you later.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye. That's Bones, everybody. Always fun talking to him. Let's get in here, Michael Fulcher, real quick and talk at Michael. Michael, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, g'day fellas.
Hey, buddy. You doing all right today?
Yeah, doing good. I was happy with that result. Had to work quite hard for it. I
Yes,
hope the race was entertaining for you.
Oh, it definitely was. You and Sanjin, I tell you what, the entire 40 laps of a battle for you two, that was very entertaining. And y'all were about the go-to group to watch. And at the end, you ended up pulling it out over Sanjin. A great job. Got a top 5 out of it and a great race result for the Kamikaze race team, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. Quality field today, and like you said, Sanjin and I were just stuck like glue. Even in the pit stops, I think I ran over his lollipop man coming into the pits.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, buddy. But yeah, man, it really was very impressive. And I thought you did a really, really good job here at Phillip Island. And, you know, as the season winds down, a tough break for Mark. I know it hated to see him go out like that. But I know he'll bounce back. He's leading the point standings. and I'm sure that he'll have a great result to answer at Road America. And we look forward to seeing what you can do out there at Road America, buddy, next week.
Yeah, I just take it week by week and rock up and see what pace I've got. It's only sort of my second season in the V8, so I don't really know. Don't have any prediction on how fast I'm going to be, and I haven't seen what happened to Mark yet. I know he will be disappointed, but like you said, he's fast, he's consistent, he'll bounce back.
He really will, buddy. And when you see it, when you see it on the broadcast, it was kind of same thing happened to Nigel. It happens. It wasn't nothing like. It's just one of those things that happens, and I hope he doesn't beat himself up over it because it happens. And you know what? He's just an unbelievable driver. You guys have really represented Kamikaze Race Team well this year. Y'all have really put yourselves on the map. And shoot, if this is only your second season racing in the V8s, buddy, you should be very proud of yourself. That's amazing work, Michael. Keep it up, buddy.
Yeah, it's only their first full season. They only, I think, made the last race or two last season, but this is their first full season.
Oh, I know that. I'm just talking about Michael as a driver.
Oh,
he
okay.
said this was his second season in the V8. I said, that's amazing. So keep up the good work there, Mike.
Yeah, thanks a lot, fellas. Tell you what, I was looking at the results, and overall, the guys that managed to stay on the lead lap, which is quite a few of us, wasn't that much in between it. After 40 laps, the whole field was pretty close together.
It really was. It really was.
Yeah, I made the comment on that toward the last several laps that after all these laps at Phillip Island, for you guys to all be in a train like that was amazing. That just really speaks to the talent of all the drivers that we've got in this series. That it's such a fast track that can really spread the field out, and in the past has. And Phillip Island can be kind of boring to broadcast. In the past it has been because the drivers would get spread out so far. But tonight there was nothing but action. You guys kept bunched up close together. Everybody was racing. Everybody had a race. It was a great night tonight.
It's excellent. I'm looking forward to watching the broadcast. You might have noticed, I think Sanjin and I paid the penalty a little bit for using a little bit too much fuel. Man, we got jumped in the pits by Samuel and Jake and Nigel by quite a fair way as well. And Samuel and Jake just battled on from there side by side, and I was watching them thinking maybe they'll slow each other down enough I can get a sniff of the podium, but they've done a great job.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, you have a good one, have a good one, Michael. We'll look forward to talking to you after Road America next week, buddy.
Will do. See you guys.
Absolutely, buddy. And that's Michael Fulcher, everybody. Kamikaze Race Team driver. Fantastic result. Let's bring in last but not least one of my favorites, good buddy of mine, Marty Carroll, SDC Motorsports. What's going on, Marty? 9th place finish here at Phillip Island. Good day, bud.
Good day, JD. Good day, Kane. And solid run today. Top 10, and had a bit of fun out there with Tim battling at the back end of the top 10, and a little bit disappointing for my teammate, not to keep it on the track up there when he was running so well. So a little bit disappointing there. Back to the drawing board for Nigel. And
did you run out of gas, Nigel, at the end? Or no, I called you Nigel. I meant Marty. Did you run out of gas at the end, Marty, when Timothy come around there and got around you, or did you just let off the gas pedal? I heard the motor sound like it stopped right there at the end.
Yeah, I ran out of fuel crossing the line.
That's what it was.
Yeah, no, it was. I was able to hold him off. We had a race-long battle, and yeah, it was sort of good fun. And I was with that middle pack with Jake to Mogul Shreya at the beginning, and just one little mistake and you lose that draft, and next thing they're 1.4 and then they're 1.6 away, and you're just like, come on, you can do it. And they just keep creeping away and away and away, and it was just just couldn't wheel them back in. But no, pretty happy with my performance today, and it was nice and solid for the amount of time I've been able to put in this week.
And this is a tough track. It's a fun track, but it's tough to get that top speed that some of those guys can get. It's really tough to hit those alien speeds.
Yeah, well, you look at got myself and Bones Paul on there. We're the only two guys without an incident. So that just shows how much that everyone has to push here to run those alien speeds. You got to take the extra risks, and push every lap. Just to be up the front there. So
That's right,
no,
Marty. High risk, high reward. It does. It makes you have to risk a lot to get a lot, and risk a little to get a little. So it's how it goes. But all in all, I thought a very very good job, Marty. We had fun watching you back there with the good battle, man. And I tell you what, for Nige, as we talked with him just a little bit ago. Hated to see that for him. He deserved a lot better result than what he was handed at one time. I actually thought Nigel had a chance to win this thing, and looked like he really could have done it today. And if he keeps pushing, he'll get up there and win one soon. And that's what I was saying the same about you, Marty. It's only a matter of time before you just get out there and get on that Marty Carroll tear and run up to the front and lead the final lap, man. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And when it does, I think it'll really put a lot of confidence back in the car for you and really start to push you back up there towards the front each week. And I know that's what you're trying to do, buddy. You'll be there soon.
yeah, and it's just time. And Nigel, just a big shout out to him. He has just been phenomenal all season. He's just stepped up his game so much. And this week, I thought it was his week when I saw that Chad and Bo had an incident, and big shout out to Chad for his sportsmanship there. It was great to see. And Nigel, after the last lap at Simona, he goes straight to Phillip Island, pulls the set out of the box that's fast straight away, which is a massive help at the beginning of the week. And he's just been on the money all week. And when he had the opportunity up there, I thought he was going to take it. So, but a little bit disappointing for him. But we'll bounce back next week and do it all again.
That's it, buddy. And we go to Road America next week. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that you and Nigel are pretty fast there. So you never know, man. Put in the time and put in some practice. You guys give us a surprise 1-2 finish next week, buddy.
Yeah, by memory, I think before me and Nigel were teammates, I might have bumped him off there and stolen his win once upon a time. So hopefully he's forgotten about that. And we're getting there. So we're quite busy, and first season with this new team, and Nigel and James with the iRacing series on the Monday nights for the Aussies. And
boy, they're really doing great.
They're just extending. They've just leapfrogged leaps and bounds this season, and it's really good to see. I'm really proud of them.
Yeah, SDC really has done a great job this season to just be a starting up team and have James doing as good as he's been doing on the Monday night show, and you and Nigel's been doing great on the Friday night show, and Nigel's even made his way into the top. Last I seen, he was 11th in the total point standings, and even with the Aussie guys. So that's really good to be up that high in the overall point standings.
That's very impressive. And like I said, Marty, you'll be right there with him. I know you will, buddy. It's just getting back on the back up on the saddle again, brother.
I got to stop doing double duties and running ovals as well.
Don't leave the ovals, man. You're going to be rocking over there too, because I know it won't be long and you'll be in that NASCAR iRacing series with us over on Wednesday nights. But you just keep doing what you're doing, buddy, and you'll get there. And I'll be pushing as well. I got to hang up the broadcast microphone once in a while to really focus on my ovals, and I'll be out there with you, buddy.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. So.
Well, man, that looks like it, buddy. Best of luck to you next week, Marty. Thanks for coming and having a chat with us, and we look forward to seeing you next week, pal.
Yeah, big shout out to you guys. Thanks again for the broadcast. You do an awesome job week in and week out.
Thanks a lot, brother. You take care. That's Marty Carroll, everybody, our good friend from SDC Motorsports. Kane, that's going to do it here for the 9th week of racing here in the V8 Supercar Americas Series. One more shout out to the sponsors V8 Supercar fan group. We love them to death. Direct Clutch Services and our very own V8's online superstore. For those of you that have never visited, go by and check it out. It's on the V8's online website at v8online.com. And for V8's Online, I'm JD Smith. With me tonight, Kane Kraft, and we'll be with you live next week from Road America. Contact free! Close, they said free!
A little bit of contact there from Scott. He muscles his way past.
To the back of... Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.